First of all, I always tell people, man, everything starts at the source. The source is in passion for the music. When you look after the music, everything looks after itself. It's a hard thing to tell any artist, but you gotta find your sonic identity before the world can relate to you. You're gonna find yourself, like you're gonna come into how a woman grows and become this beautiful flower and how a man grows and become this incredible guy. You gotta be that musically before the world can be able to relate. And the world knows. That's when people break. You get it? So for me, it's a journey. First, you gotta put in a lot of work as an artist because, man, I don't get excited about record labels and contracts. I really don't. You know why? Because it's only exciting when they actually result. So many artists get shelved, you get signed, exciting, you're super talented, and never be released for 6-10 years. So many that I know. So for me, man, look after the music, really. And once that step is done, start knocking on doors. I knocked on so many doors, man. I can't even begin to tell you. But what's funny though, my English was so bad, so bad that every time people used to cut my calls. Now, there's some people now are managing directors, pretty much all the biggest record labels in South Africa, and now we see sitting on board of directors together for a big organization, be it Sampra or other things. But I used to knock on the doors then, but now I'm on the table, and all I had to do was look after the music, and everything came afterwards. You get what I mean? So for me, man, look after the music, polish it, and always be kind. You know, because of course nobody owes anybody anything really, yeah, man, the music, and when you're ready with it, hopefully you can send 1,000 demos. You just need one person to believe, one. So many factors, so many dots are connected, and not just one straight path. My biggest passion I write songs. I write for low artists. I've written for Zahara. I write for idols. I still write for The Voice and competitions because I'm passionate about publishing and copyright, right? So when I realized that nobody was opening doors for me as an artist, I started writing songs and hanging at studios. And few people, rest in peace, Robbie Malinga and Mjalefa Tebe that produced Zahara, gave me the first ever chance to write for Zahara. Man, I was nobody, man. I was nothing. I was a waiter at Pavilion in Durban, and I resigned at work for 2 weeks to go sit at the studio to see if they could sing any of my songs. Funny enough, they sang 2 songs, and I made my first money, actually, my first 100K ever from that record, and I toured with her, and from there, eventually won a competition as a songwriter of Rolling Stone magazine, and won another prize of Holiday Inn, and started becoming slightly busy. So I started looking for managers, and got introduced to a few managers. And for the first time, I bought my little car to move around from the money I made from the Zahara tour. I went to see my family for the first time in 6 years, but because before that I couldn't afford it. So shout out to Zahara. And when I came back, I remember, you know African families, man, black tax, you know what I mean? So I came back, man, I was broke. I had like 3 grand in my account. And I remember I used to see this beautiful girl in Durban. I told her, man, I feel like I'm gonna go overseas and I'm gonna do great things overseas. So I'm gonna go apply for an American visa. At that time it was like 2 grand in Durban. I didn't have no bank account or money and stuff. And I don't know how I did it, and I got like a 10-year visa, which I never used until 2 years ago. But anyway, the whole thing was like me just taking faith. Like I was making steps of faith. Man, the most underrated skill in life is intuition. You gotta feel it, man. Like when you feel something, man, listen to that voice and do with it. Like, it's crazy, because a lot of people think I'm crazy. Like, my friends always thought I was crazy. My family, like when you feel something, man, go and do it. Like, don't doubt it. Like, go and do it. Yeah. With all your heart, with all your might, all your strength, and always do it good. Never settle. Not halfway, not, okay. Do it so good, man. Like, do it so good. And if you fail the first time, do it 1,000,000 times until you get it good. You get what I mean? So, just to go back, on the visa. So I got the visa, right? And I was left with like small money. And I remember being like, yo, man, I'm so broken. I'm I was getting sick with malaria because I just came from Congo. And I was like, well, I need to start recording an album. I don't know where the idea came from. To be honest, I don't know. I just said, I need to record an album. I have less than $2,000 though. You get what I mean? So I went to people and friends. I'm like, oh man, this is what I'm doing. There were a few studios in the neighborhood in Westville, if anybody knows in Durban. And someone gave me a small room where I can record in. So I got a 16-year-old programmer engineer because I've always gotten money from watering 15 grand there, and I paid people, and nobody ever understood my sound because it was very strange and different. So I told myself I'm gonna take the control of it and shape it how I want, and I wanna take time and learn it. So me and that kid, Tyron Woods, he literally listened to me. I played the guitars and he engineered for me, and I produced the first ever song for me called Mount Everest. That song, I remember telling him, I'm like, man, I hope people overseas can listen to this song. Well, they better do. I hope they listen to it. And I started sending that song around to managers or contacts. So that's why being in places like this is very important. You get to meet a lot of exciting people. You might send a mail, as I said, 1,000 times, but one person needs to listen to. So I sent that song out. And at that time, a manager that used to manage AKA came back to me like, yo, man, I love this song. Can we work? I'm like, sure, but I just want the collaboration. How much gonna be? Like, no, man, I wanna work with you, right? That demo that was not mixed, made it on a chart in Cape Town. I don't know how, in Heart FM and KFM, that demo. Within a few months, the song was mixed, AK jumped on a remix. That song got discovered in Europe somewhere. Someone saw it on YouTube and went #1 in Italy. Within months, right? And if we have to go back, it all starts with the music. Of course, you gotta network. Of course, you gotta make the right moves. But everything started on how I wanted to shape the sound and how I wanted to move. Man, from there, it sounds crazy even when I say it myself. I've released 3 albums in 3 years since I broke out as an artist. 1 best pop album for every album because I shaped the sound how I wanna see it. And most importantly, I stay in touch with my vision and my passion, which I think is very important as an artist. Not just an artist, as a businessman, with everything, man. Always stay in touch with what you want to do, your vision. Don't derail, man. A boy's got to be focused, and nothing can disturb the boy.